Christopher is a former member of this club. He has achieved his CC, his Competent Communicator Award. He's still waiting on that name badge, if you guys will please get that for him. He's been joining us over the past few weeks. He's been a pleasure to have around. Hopefully, he will commit to becoming a member, and I'm going to keep talking slowly while he finishes that love note. Jesus. No pressure whatsoever, but please help me welcome Christopher Louis.
Thank you, Sir Toastmaster. Good evening, classy talkers, fellow Toastmasters, and Al. Al, nice to see you. Hope you enjoy my speech. It's off the cuff. Now, I would like to take bargain hunting, take a backseat to that just for a moment here, and talk about the word. It's not the word of the day, but it's the name of my speech. The name of my speech is coincidence. Coincidence. Not everybody runs into coincidence all the time. Hey, I saw that person. He was in my class. I work with that guy. I saw him at Costco. Or you watch the Travel Channel. I've been to that restaurant. I'm not talking about that kind of coincidence. I didn't have much faith in the word coincidence until this happened. It happened in my early 20s. I was 21 years old. And I was stationed in Germany in the Army. It's the first time I left home. And I was feeling a little homesick. And I also wanted to travel. So I had this wild brain idea to take a leave of absence from the military. The most vacation you could take is 45 days. Unheard of. Most people use that time to go back to the States, but I didn't care about going back to the States. I was homesick, but I was homesick for my family. Not for Sacramento, but for my family. Now, I have to preface, I have to take another back seat because I had this idea to backpack across Europe. Backpack, buy a Eurail pass, just jump trains, stay at youth hostels very cheaply, and go see Europe at a young age of 21, on my own. But my mother had an idea to send my brother over to Europe so we can get together and backpack together. Now, I have 3 brothers. Never talked about my family before. I have 3 brothers. The brother who wanted to come was attending Sac State. He was an art major. He had the summer off. He wasn't working, and his name is Dean. He's the opposite of me. He's my antithesis. They tease me, Sissy Chrissy, as they call me, because I was low-key, easygoing, happy-go-lucky extrovert. He's the opposite. We called him Mean Dean. And he always picked on me. We always fought like cats and dogs. But my mother thought it was a good idea to send him over so we can get together and, we miss each other. Well, I want to ask anyone, let's show of hands. We plan to stay together for a month and a half, 45 days, the whole time of my military leave. I ask you, did we stay together for 45 days? Yes or no? Teresa says no. How long did we stay together?
2 days.
No, no longer than that. Come on. It's a couple meals. That's one night.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Good answer. John, you're correct. You are correct, sir. We lasted together for 2 weeks before we got a fist fight, and we never saw each other again. But here's where the word coincidence comes in. We did not divulge. When we first got together, we met in Amsterdam in front of the Rijksmuseum, and we had a big hug and had dinner together and stuff like that. Then we talked about our plans. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? What are we going to eat? Where are we going to stay at? And true to his nature, me and Dean became my boss. I was a servant. I had to get the bags together, I had to do this and that, and he would make every night we ate Asian food. Yeah, we go to Europe for 45 days, and he wants to eat Chinese food. Because that's what we ate every night. Every night in Hawaii and in California, Asian families eat rice and stir fry. It's Chinese style. And that's what he wanted to eat, was Chinese food. So we fought over that. Second of all, he's an art major, so he wanted to go to the Louvre, he wanted to go to the Sistine Chapel, which is fine. I went with him with that. But also, I've got a demented kind of sense of interest. I wanted to go see the catacombs. You know, the ancient catacombs under Rome, under France, bones everywhere. That's where they didn't. I want to go to Celebrity Cemetery and see Jim Morrison's grave, Oscar Wilde, Edith Piaf, the famous opera singer. He says, I don't care about music. I said, she's world famous. 8 years ago. But after 2 weeks, we couldn't stand each other. We got in a fist fight over disagreement, and we split up in Rome. 2 weeks, that's all we lasted together. Can you believe the word coincidence? We didn't tell each other where our plans were going. I had talked about a youth hostel in Switzerland where supposedly they loved Americans, in Interlaken, beautiful countryside, natural lake, mountains, everything like that. I went there, stayed about a week, rode my bicycle, rented a bicycle, rode around the lake, and went hiking, and had some good food, and I think I went to see a James Bond movie in Swiss. And then the day I was leaving, I'm walking down, I was upstairs, I walked downstairs, who comes walking up the path? Mean Dean! And I had punched him in the eye. And he was a little swan. And when I saw him, I had to laugh because he's like this. And he's got the eyes still swollen. I laugh because I did that. That's my work. That's my handiwork. Practicing my kung fu on him. So that's number one. Coincidence. Didn't expect to see him. And then a couple weeks went by. I went to Austria and then France. And I ended up back in Germany where I was stationed, but in the northern part of Germany. A place called Hamburg. Supposedly that's where the hamburger came from, but I don't know if that's true or not. But there's a famous place there. Now, in Europe, they're a little more open-minded. There is free sex, free love kind of a thinking there that we used to practice in the 70s. And there's a world-famous place called the Reeperbahn-Straße. And what it means is sexual mile. It's a red light district, nothing but whorehouses and red light district and everything that never shuts down. And when I was staying in Hamburg and couldn't sleep. So of course I went for a nightly walk and walkabout. And where I end up? Right in the middle of the Reeperbahn-Straße at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm walking along and I see this guy and he looks Asian. Now there's not a whole lot of Asians in Europe, so when you see an Asian, you see him walking along, hey, how's it going? It's my brother. At 3 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the red light district. I go, what are you doing here? He goes, what are you doing here? I go, I just went for a nightly stroll. And it ended up happening on the street. Me too. Now, I was 21 years old, and I never believed in the word coincidence. It's a big joke. But seeing how that I experienced it firsthand, I'm a firm believer in coincidence. And tell me, I ask you this, you think that would ever happen in another million years? Never. Meet my brother twice in the time of the span of 3 months to a week in Europe. Once in Utah, so okay, I can see that. But in the middle of the red light district at 3 o'clock in the morning? Can you believe that? That's coincidence. Thank you for listening. Sir Toastmaster?